Helps you take it off loop, but boom, just like that, it's Thursday night, and you know what that means. It's party time with us. We're the Video Bros. I'm Bobby Munson, and the man beside me, you know him, he's the man with the angelic voice. He is Papa Smokes. Papa Smokes, happy Thursday. How you doing, brother?
Ooh, Munson, you sound really revved up tonight, and so am I because it's Thursday. It's time for Ring Respect Radio, and I'm even more excited because you know what's this weekend? The next PPW show, and we're going to review it tonight, baby. Woo!
You bet. We're going to catch everybody up on what's been going on in Prairie Pro Wrestling since the last event. We're going to be focused on Prairie Pro Wrestling, and we're going to talk heavily about that big main event that we got coming up this Saturday. But a reminder to everybody planning to attend Prairie Pro Wrestling's Triple Combat event. Listen up. Seats have been sold out forever. Since we put it, like, the seats went on sale shortly after the last event, sold. We have got general admission standing room tickets available. How do you get them? Currently, you can reach out to Prairie Pro Wrestling over at Facebook. You can then make a message. You can send an e-transfer. You'll get put on a list to guarantee your spot in Triple Combat this Saturday night. And I'm telling you, Pop Smokes, the seats sold out. General admission are flying off the shelf. Everything's looking up for Prairie Pro Wrestling. And speaking of looking up, we got friends in the chat, and it's just not a great night without these gentlemen here. And we got Bobby Stats, Bobby Petito, saying he's looking forward to watching Tom Latimer defend his NWA Heavyweight Championship at Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling again on May the 10th, this time around against Stu Grayson. Should be a great match, Bobby. We're looking forward to it. Can't wait to see that and be able to bring you our review. Who else do we got in the chat? Well, we just saw this guy's beautiful face on screen, Papa Smokes, because it just so happened that him and Bass Jr. were in the audience of the match we just called. It's our good boy Basser in the house saying, hey, boys, what's up Saturday? Nice to see those handsome faces. Well, we're glad to see you as well, too. Hope you and Bass Jr., the Bass boys, are going to be down there cheering on all the greats at Prairie Pro Wrestling this coming Saturday, man. Papa Smokes, I don't know if you could tell it in my voice. I'm stoked for this coming Saturday. I'm expecting big things out of this program.
Oh, I can tell you're stoked. I know you so well. I can hear it in your voice, but I also know by the calendar because when PPW is coming up, both the Video Bros are stoked. We're going to be there with bells on, doing some camera work, doing all that stuff at the wrestling show, and I can't wait to see the PPW Nation again. It feels like a long time since the last show. I guess it's been a good 7-8 weeks almost, and I miss all the fans. I miss Bass and Bass Jr. We just saw their handsome faces as we were calling a couple matches before this, and woo, we're going to see everybody all the way down the roster of the fans, up and down, at halftime, afterwards, and during the show. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Bobby asking if Michael Allen Richard Clark, our PPW champion, will be wrestling this Saturday. Bobby, I don't have the full card, to be perfectly honest with you. He is our Prairie Pro Wrestling champion. We generally have the champion in-house, so I fingers crossed, my man, that Michael Allen Richard Clark will be there. We will be talking heavily about the situation that's going on with him currently in Prairie Pro Wrestling as well, too. One person I can confirm, unfortunately, will not be present this coming Saturday, Papa Smokes, in any capacity, is the intangible Zoe Sager. The news broke that Zoe Sager, currently injured and unable to compete. Very unfortunate news there. We do hope a speedy recovery for the intangible Zoe Sager, but very unfortunate for wrestling fans to be, robbed of the opportunity of seeing more of Zoe Sager as her rise continues in the world of professional wrestling.
Very much so. We can only hope that her injury isn't serious because she's been on a roll the past, I'm just going to throw it out there, 2 years or so, but she's been on a roll for a long time. So I really hope that she's going to be okay, get better. We're going to miss Zoe at PPW this weekend. Have a speedy recovery, young lady.
You bet, yeah, but there's so much going on, Papa Smokes. We know there's going to be a lot of great names. We do have confirmed names that are definitely going to be in the house here. this coming Saturday, because I mean, we've got a huge main event that we're going to be talking about. That is going to be our main subject of today. So that will come later in this program. But, you know, before we even get started, Papa Smokes, I just wanted to mention, we were talking about this a little bit before we went online. We also want to say congratulations to one of the people that's going to be in that main event, the Rhinestone Cowboy, Stephen Crow, making his rounds out in Las Vegas this past weekend, really getting the world to see the Rhinestone Cowboy in action, and a lot of people talking about him as well too. And then I just want to say he did a great, fantastic job, and big congratulations from us, not only here, the Video Bros, but all of us here at our local establishment. Want to say a big congratulations for being able to get out there and show your talents to the world there. The Rhinestone Cowboy, giddy up, my friend.
Oh, very much so. And doing Mania weekend in Las Vegas, and did he not wrestle Effie among other people? Getting his name out there, that's so great. One of our PPW wrestlers making us proud down in the States, getting on a bigger stage and just bringing this focus and the spotlight onto some Canadian wrestlers down there. Cheers to you, Stephen Crow.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait. And like Bobby was mentioning earlier about Maple Leaf Pro, we talked heavily last time out. We saw PPW's Zoe Sager, Michael Allen Richard Clark involved there. Michael Allen Richard Clark has been booked again for that May 10th show. He's going to be in the Gauntlet Battle Royal of sorts there for the championship. So again, our champion could be a double champion after May the 10th. Again, pending what goes on. We don't know this Saturday if Michael Allen Richard Clark has an opponent. We don't know if he's yet in the house. We're really not too sure just yet on that aspect. We got Ed Fries, who was with us last week talking some chaotic wrestling, saying, hey, y'all, just checking in, hoping that El Asino gets his hands on the ghastly trash talking thief. Damn you, Ed. Damn you. No, it's not happening. We can't have that kind of nonsense. No, not at all. Papa Smokes, you're a sick man. Bobby saying,
you're going down,
again too. Yes. SDG's in the house. He says, we need to know if the real wrestling god will be there. What is with this love? What is with this show that attracts the worst of the worst in El Asesino fans? Like, I can't believe it. We got Brian Carter, now STG. We got Ed. We got all these people showing love for El Asesino and wanting to see this guy attack me. Well, you've been like this for years, Papa Smokes. I'm so used to it at this point. But the fact that you would all want to see footage of of this horrible, I don't even want to call him a human being, getting his dirty paws on me and doing any damage to this right here. It's unfathomable, Papa Smokes. How is he the greatest man in history? Please back this up with facts. I need to know. Oh, he does tell me they're bad.
So Munson, with all this current sentiment from our viewers who are very respectable and intelligent people and good wrestling fans, do you ever feel like you're wrong in this situation? Because it certainly appears that you are.
Hey, two Bobbies make a right here, Papa Smokes. As Bobby Petito told us, he's glad that he doesn't have to watch El Asesino and a Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling ring. There we go. Yeah, there we go. See, I've got my back up here. There it is. And nothing more I like to see is somebody on tilt. Hey, again, El Asesino's been calling it for years. He's been running his mouth for years. I mean, notoriously running my mouth for years. Again,
you haven't?
I'm admitting to it, Papa Smokes. I'm saying I've been running my mouth for years, but I mean, I more so now when I've been saying it. I mean, let's clarify this for a second. When I've been shit talking El Asesino at any point in time lately, the whole thing has been because this guy, time and time again, doesn't seem to understand that he is a great professional wrestler, that he does not need to stoop to the levels that he does all the time. He does not need to beat his opponent down with chairs. He does not need to come out and give absolute hate to everybody in his pathway, because he's a professional wrestler that is actually skilled in that ring. He could get the job done without the assistance of all the bullshit he makes for himself.
Oh, so after all this, Munson, you're going to backtrack and say Asesino's so good that he doesn't need to do this stuff. Oh,
And
Munson, you're a
no,
real case. You're a real head case,
no.
Munson.
Don't try to play this, Papa Smokes. Anyone who's watched Prairie Pro Wrestling on a weekly basis knows damn well that inside that ring, when I'm calling a PPW match with El Assassino, I send him his flowers. I say that he is a great professional wrestler inside that ring. He had one of the longest reigns as a heavyweight champion in our province, in our city, than anybody else in the history of wrestling in this particular city. And I'm not going to ever take those accolades away from a great professional. But when he wants to be a son of a bitch, he's going to be a son of a bitch. And I'm going to call him on his shit. That's what it comes down to.
So if El Assassino is that good of a wrestler, and he's that violent of a dude, and seemingly without moral compass and stuff, don't you think you should keep your mouth shut about him?
I've been keeping my mouth shut a little too long here in PPW. I was trying to play the nice card all this time in PPW, but the man has just irritated me. And the fact that he calls my ass out. In fact, yeah, I remember damn well. See you on the 22nd. See you on the 22nd. He said he saw me on the 22nd. What happened, Pop Smokes? I'm still here to tell the story, aren't I? I haven't seen any action from this guy. I mean, it's all talk, no action every single time with him. I mean, if you want to see me, I'm just right here, man. I've made the invite to the show before. I've had you on multiple times. Come on down any single time you want, El Assassino. Feel free to step up to the plate and come air your grievances with me at any point in time. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, you think you get to decide that, Munson? He'll come up and settle these grievances whenever the hell he feels like it. He's just waiting till you're done your work, Munson. He's not going to get you at the beginning of the show. He's going to get you afterwards once you've done your work.
Well, you know what? He's probably got his work already cut out for him here coming up, Papa Smokes, because he's got a thing going on with our champion, Michael Allen Richard Clark. This is who he is entangled with. Thank you, Bobby. We appreciate it. We can't be the best without the best audience in the world, and that includes you, my friend. Thank you very much. I'd say maybe you just want some more respectful environment, maybe on a Tuesday. Oh, whatever, respectful environment, my ass. That's the last thing that El Assassino's ever asked for.
Ed knows.
Yeah,
Ed knows.
Whatever. Ed's just trying to rile me up like STG and you are, Papa Smokes. It absolutely despicable. But what it comes down to is El Assassino really has his hands full right now, because not only is he pissed off at the world, he's very pissed off at the fact that he has not had a shot at the Prairie Pro Wrestling Championship. Not once has he had a shot at the Prairie Pro Wrestling Championship. During Shiki's reign, he did not get a crack at it. He did not get a crack at it when Colton Kelly got a hold of it. And he hasn't had a shot at it since Michael Allen Richard Clark won the title. And not only that, he's pissed off that Michael Allen Richard Clark got that position over him, considering that back at the Ring of Horrors in that TLC matchup, El Assassino was victorious. He has been victorious 2 years running now inside of the Ring of Horrors, inside the Devil's Playground. El Assassino is a very dangerous man and has been earmarking Michael Allen Richard Clark for quite some time now.
Well, then, to me, it sounds like he has a reason to be pissed off. Is he getting overlooked by the PPW Championship Committee and PPW management? It sounds like he's getting a raw deal here, Munson. And I've thought this many times, that why doesn't the Mexican Devil get a shot at the heavyweight championship of PPW? He certainly deserves it. He's a PPW original. His record wasn't so great right off the bat in PPW, but as you mentioned, he's racked up a couple of huge wins. And do you not think he was pleased to get past Cannonball Kelly in that feud? You don't think he was pleased to get past Michael Allen Richard Clark in that feud? Now Clark's got his hands on the belt. The last guy to beat him, El Assassino. Where's the title shot, Munson? Where's the respect? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, well, we'll see if it happens here soon for him, Papa Smokes. STG saying he's getting overlooked by PPW management, aka Bobby. Sure thing. Yeah, what you don't know about PPW there, my friend. But you don't know. Now. The only management I do is management of video services, buddy. That's all that you get out of Bobby Munson. I'm the manager of what goes on in the video production thing. I'm the one that makes El Assassino's ass look good every Saturday on screen there. I blame Crash Crimson for El Assassino not getting a title shot. Ew, Bass are throwing shade at the
Now you're
boss,
getting
Crash
more
Crimson.
close. Yeah. But no, make no mistake about it. We don't let Munson anywhere near the management of the company. Trust me on that one.
Well, I get near them, Papa Smokes. I mean, they have to converse with me about the video stuff. I mean, you wouldn't have the big, beautiful Munson-tron at the top of the stage for those entrances and stuff like that if it wasn't for Bobby Munson and my management there. So it's good. You know, I do have some management, just not booking management like our friend STG seems to think. He thinks I'm a secret booker of some sort. He's grossly mistaken.
Yeah, no, you guys are on the wrong trail there. We don't let Munson near any of that stuff. He's got some ideas, but we don't use them.
Well, I mean, my ideas, you never know what you're going to get. One day it could be something interesting. The next day it could be absolute batshit crazy. I mean, I high and low every single day. It changes up. So yeah, don't let me anywhere near the booking, but I take a keen interest in it. I do watch very carefully. We do have a good booking committee in Prairie Pro Wrestling, and, you know, kudos to all of them there, Pop Spokes. I will always be the stats man. You sure will, Bobby. Always appreciate you dropping stats in the chat.
That's right.
You know, before we talk more PPW here, Papa Spokes, I also want to give a big shout out to everybody who volunteers their time for Prairie Pro Wrestling. A lot of people don't realize the countless amount of hours that some of the great people at PPW put in, the people that come and help do the setup, the wonderful ladies that are working the front door with me there, as well as the ones in the kitchen that are cooking up the food, serving drinks, making sure that everybody's hydrated and well fed at these things. I mean, these are jobs that get overlooked almost every single time, Papa Spokes, including the video work that now you and our newest addition there has been doing for us. Warren there down at ringside, taking the reins last time out. But yeah, again, these are jobs that need to be appreciated more in professional wrestling, because these are volunteers doing these things. They don't get paid to come out and do it or anything like that. They do it because they love pro wrestling and they believe in what we do at Prairie Pro Wrestling.
So is that why you feel entitled to go on a diatribe against one of our top wrestlers, El Assassinos, because you don't get enough pats on the back, Munson?
You don't have to give me a pat on the back, Papa Smokes. It's perfectly okay. I toot my own horn on stream every Thursday night as it is. It's perfectly all right. I'm one of the last ones. I know. I'm one of the last ones that needs to be thanked, honestly, because again, my thanks is all over the internet. It's there for everybody to see. So it's, again, I get to share in doing that for everybody. So I mean, to me, that's all the thanks I ever need. What's at PPW Catering? Whatever's being served up at the Subway sandwich shop around the corner that week. What food do you have at PPW? Details, please. I think recently it's just been back to the hot dogs. If I'm not mistaken, we did taco in a bag for the longest time. I don't know if we still are serving that. And then for a while there, we also had those wonderful pulled pork sliders that were being served at PPW.
Oh, man.
So, man, it smells so damn good in there, Papa Folks. It was delightful.
That was when Auntie Wuji and her crew used to do the food in there. That was some good stuff sometimes. But the hot dogs go over big. That was kind of an inside joke between the fans and Mike McSugar, where everybody wanted to have a hot dog in their mouth, so to speak. And many fun group pictures taken at the halftime outside with the hot dogs, all the fans, some of the wrestlers, some of the referees. Everybody would get into those group pictures. A couple of beauties were taken there, Munson.
It was a classic time. And again, Mike McSugar, shout out to him, guy we've missed for a long time, the individual.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows, Papa Smokes? We never know who could show up and be. Could Mike McSugar ever return? I mean, I've heard rumblings at times, Papa Smokes, not that he is definitely on the card or that he will ever be back for sure. But again, I've heard talk in the locker room from time to time about a potential return for Mike McSugar and how, you know, people would be interested in that. We haven't seen him in a long time. He's been on that injured list for so long that it would just be incredible to see Mike McSugar back because, again, he's a legend here in Saskatoon.
Yeah, he's a Saskatchewan legend. He's wrestled all around the country, but in Saskatchewan, he's so well known, so well liked. He's a pro and a veteran, and he knows everything about good working in the ring. Man, I've seen him get some audiences totally riled up.
Well, they're even still talking about the last time he was out with the kind of bird feeding situation that he had there with Tommy Gallivan
Yeah.
in the ring. Gallivan doesn't
Oh
forget.
man.
Every single time I run into Gallivan, he has nightmares about that evening, Papa Smokes. And if you don't know what I mean, you don't need to know any more than that. Go back to the Prairie Pro Wrestling YouTube channel and you can look it up yourself. Yeah, Mike McSugar, always a great individual here in Prairie Pro Wrestling, and hopefully sooner rather than later we could see in some capacity Mike McSugar return, doing something with us over at Prairie Pro. Again, more people to talk about on this one, Papa Spokes. We got always our young up and comers in the forums of people like Riley Cruz, who was absent from the last show because we know Riley's been making his rounds amongst other companies and also doing the Canadian Death Tour, something that we talked extensively about here on Ring Respect Radio not that long ago. Now Riley Cruz, the up-and-comer in Prairie Pro Wrestling, has now joined the crew going out to those tours. And Maggie Sajak joining us, saying hello, everybody. Hello to you too. I've seen you coming in a lot to support us on various shows here on the channel. Thank you for joining us once again. Shout out to you and your family as always. But yeah, Pop Smokes, how about that though? Riley Cruz getting to make that Canada Death Tour, something that'll toughen you up pretty goddamn quick when you get on those tours.
Yeah, it's somewhat a rite of passage among Canadian wrestlers here is to do one of those far north bus tours, or not really a bus, just in the cars, but going on the dangerous icy highways, driving across the frozen lakes that you never know if it'll hold your car or not. And you're playing in small communities that don't ever get any kind of a show, no music, no sports, no drama, no anything. So when a wrestling show comes to town, it lights the community alight with excitement. And those can be some of the most fun shows, as we've seen from a couple of the documentaries and a few of the matches we've covered in the past. These communities really, really like to have that entertainment come through every once in a while. And Riley Cruz is going to get a real education on this tour. I've never been on one. I'm going on secondhand knowledge here, but from all the wrestlers I've talked to, it's a once in a lifetime experience, and you will be a different but better wrestler when you come out the other side of one of those Northern Canadian tours.
And yeah, and again, kudos to Riley Cruz in such a short period of time, getting those bookings all across the board. I mean, there's a reason they're nicknaming him Big Time Riley Cruz at this time, Papa Smokes, because again, we've seen this. It's not even a slow rise. This has been a very quick rise for someone his age in professional wrestling to not only be able to get put in some of these prime spots for Prairie Pro Wrestling, but then to be able to travel multiple provinces across Canada so far. And going to Bobby's question here, what if Riley Cruz was to get a match at Maple Leaf Pro like Zoe and Michael Allen Richard Clark is? We might not be that far off of seeing something like that happen. In fact, Bobby, There's a lot of eyes on Riley Cruz at the moment. He has been well trained. And I keep thinking about how interesting it is, that documentary we watched about the death tours and how Crash Crimson was along for the ride with El Assassino at the time. At the start of his career, Crash Crimson having trained El Assassino, and now thinking about Riley Cruz on these tours, and young Riley has been taking his lessons from El Assassino and Crash Crimson. It's kind of interesting to see that generational gap between these wrestlers that have all made their trips out to these tours and gained so much experience from them at the same time, only to bring it right back here to Saskatoon.
For sure, the wheel goes round and round. The generations go on, and the students become the teachers and everything else. And Riley Cruz is one of those young wrestlers that realizes what he needs to do. He realizes what his path should be in front of him. Work, 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 and work some more. Get out there, get your reps in, wrestle different people in different rings for different promotions. Just learn everything you can about the business, the traveling, the waiting, the training, everything else that has to come along with it. And while you're doing this, your name's going to get out there. Riley Cruz's name is getting out there because he's busy and he's traveling and working on his weekends. That's what wrestlers do to get over and to get noticed, to get their name up there in this business. Riley Cruz willing to put in the hard work. You better believe lots of other wrestlers and other promoters will notice that and give it the respect it deserves.
100%. Another graduate from the PPW Academy, Papa Smoke, somebody that you've had your eyes on for a long time. He's been making an impact here in PPW, talking about marvelous Morris Waltz. He has been making his rounds, but as of late, he's found a thorn in his side, or in his Achilles heel, you could say, in one Tommy Gallivan. Tommy Gallivan been around PPW since the very beginning, followed over from the HIW days, but it seems like Tommy suddenly has been continuing this bit of a rise, an uptick in PPW as of late, really focusing his game and managing to get the better of Morris Waltz in two different occasions now. And we're talking about the same Morris Waltz who actually got a win over Cannonball Kelly. So very interesting that Waltz has not been able to crack the code yet when it comes to Tommy Gallivan.
Yeah, it is a little surprising to me with some of the upward momentum that Morris Waltz has had since debuting in PPW. Here's another guy that's been traveling on the road, going out on his weekends and wrestling in different federations against different opponents and all that stuff. And he had such momentum going in PPW, but then he ran up against Tommy Gallivan, who's absolutely no pushover, a tough guy in Saskatoon, as he's known. He's tough as nails, and it seems to be a matchup thing. Waltz has had so much success with his strikes, with his vicious kicks, but Tommy Gallivan seeming to have an answer for that, seeming to have Morris Waltz scouted out, and twice now getting the better of him and sneaking that pinfall in. You can see that Waltz is frustrated by this. Will we see a continuation of this at the next card on Saturday? Or will we see Morris Waltz take on different opponents? We don't know, but I, for one, am curious to see this little feud maybe have some kind of a climax to it. I think Morris Waltz wants to get that win. I think Morris Waltz needs that win against Tommy Gallivan, and I think he'll basically do anything to get it.
I think so as well, too. We'll see what in store for both those two gentlemen this coming Saturday. We are going to gear up here, ready to talk about the big main event, Pop Smokes. But before we do, because we aren't playing them at the beginning of the show anymore, we got a lot of great shows coming up here at our local establishment throughout the week. And I just want to run down this quick 1-minute calendar with you. So here's what's coming up this week from OLE Podcasts.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. Run my own way to get there. Fools are calling and I seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me this time is coming for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Know that I need you anyway. I never wanted to be alive, just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks a beat at time, I press the lens just to tell you. Don't lead the way, don't even say that I draw with a time fading away. I feel like I'm fading.
That's what we got coming up for you this week. One correction to the calendar. There won't be an episode of the Honor Ramble here tonight. Auntie Collins, Kyle Sparks are taking the night off, getting a few things updated, fixed up, ready to go to bring you the Honor Ramble back, hopefully as of next week. Bigger, better, and better. Bigger, better, all these things than ever before. And I'm sure full of a lot more rambling and a lot more food references on their program as well, too. Looking forward to their comeback. And also the announcement that Auntie Collins and Jose coming up, I believe in a couple of weeks here, are going to be moving over to Friday nights with the Mother Tuck and Post show, as they're going to be doing RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars coming up. So make sure to tune into that and all the great shows here that we have at our local establishment. But Papa Smokes, it has come to that time. At the end of the show, we'll take some questions from the audience if you guys want to ask anything about independent wrestling. But right now, the focus is going to be on this, the main event of the evening. The PPW Tag Team Championships are on the line in a triple threat ladder match. The champions, the Short Kings, taking on their adversaries. They're taking on the Clandestine Society and the Brotherhood. Man, Papa Smokes, this one is going to be insane. We've seen ladder matches before. We saw the ladder match for the Prairie Pro Wrestling Championship. We saw that TLC match between El Assassino and Michael Allen Richard Clark. Not yet have we seen a tag team ladder match, let alone a triple threat tag team ladder match. You want to talk, let the bodies hit the floor. That will be the theme come this Saturday night, Papa Smokes. It is going to be chaos in there.
Well, and what I'm mostly worried about, Munson, is it going to be the cameramen's bodies hitting the floor? Because it's going to be wild in that aisle outside the ring, Munson. As you know, us video bros put ourselves right in the line of danger sometimes. And if Jacob Creed or the Dixie Dragon fall off a ladder on top of me, Munson, I'm coming to you. I'm coming with the legal matters towards you, Munson.
Didn't we sign some sort of agreement here that I thought there was like some sort of PPW forum that if anybody gets hurt in the process of working for PPW, that there's no way you can come at them. Anyway, we'll cross that bridge.
Sounds about right.
Just do your best to stay the hell out of the way, Pop Smokes. If you see fallen bodies, just run like hell. Run like hell. I mean, I can't stress it anymore. It is going to be absolute chaos. These three teams hate each other. I mean, we just, again, coming up in a couple of weeks on the channel, we just saw the matchup between the Short Kings and the Clandestine Society and the chaos that ended that one. Wow. And again, Creed saying that they picked the ladder match. Him and Dixie Dragon picked the ladder match because he knows that favors them because of their height. Or so that's what they're claiming. They're claiming that due to their height, it's going to absolutely favor the Brotherhood. Bass are saying, do the Short Kings get a slightly taller ladder for fairness sake? I don't even know what ladders are going to be involved with this, Bass. Like, man, ladders are not easy to come by and everything. And you know these badasses are probably going to break a ladder, Papa Smokes. Something is going to break. Bodies at tables, bladders. I'm sure everything will be broken. There will be blood. I'm sure of it.
Oh, my God. It's going to be absolute mayhem. And like you were saying, we just called the Short Kings versus Clandestine Society match. That was absolutely wild. And that was only 4 wrestlers and no ladders and no belts hanging over the ring. Can you imagine what it's going to be like with the Brotherhood involved? These guys are big. These guys are rough and tough. They don't give a damn what the referee says. They don't care what PPW management has to say. They don't care what the fans have to say. They're after those PPW titles because they know it makes them more money and more prestige in the professional wrestling business. So they don't care who they step on to get there. That's the danger in this match, I think, is that you can imagine the Clandestine Society and the Short Kings having some sense of professional respect for each other. But I don't think the Brotherhood has that. With the evil genius of Bucky McGraw on the outside of the ring, he's also got a mean streak a mile wide. So they don't care what happens. They don't care who gets hurt, whose body is broken, how many ladders are broken. They just want those shiny titles. They're going to stop at nothing to get them.
You bet. We're right back to this triple threat, but we do know have a outside factor in this situation, Papa Smokes, as we said we had just... It's going to be coming up a couple of weeks in YouTube. So warning, spoilers ahead. If you don't know what happened at the last show and you really want to just watch it on YouTube, plug your ears for a second because we are going to be talking about a major spoiler. The match gets broken up by the Brotherhood. That's where the declaration of the triple threat comes in. We know the TFA got herself involved there, backing up the Clandestine Society. And as the Short Kings were left in the ring to celebrate that they were still the champions despite the match coming to an end with no contest, suddenly a statement was made, Papa Smokes. Our former champion, 2-time champion, and longest Prairie Pro Wrestling champion in history, Sheikh Akbar Shabazz, and yes, indeed, his tag team partner, Bharat Garani. Those two gentlemen, better known across the independent wrestling scene as Paralira, and a team that has won tag team gold everywhere they went, beat down the Short Kings, said that the Tall Kings are now in town and that they're coming for the PPW Tag Team Championships. I'm mind blown, Pop Smokes. Para Lira are dangerous individuals, and especially with that finishing maneuver murder that they're known for. These three teams need to be on edge going into this Saturday.
Oh, on edge. They should phone the police to get protection from Para Lira. These guys are absolutely insane. And you know, it's funny, since the PPW started their tag team division, we watched Bharat Gorani try out several different partners without much success. He was paired with a couple of different people and never really picked up a win in the tag team division. Oh yeah, that's all changed now. He's got Sheik Akbar Shabazz, a guy who's pinned everybody in PPW pretty much, as his partner now. What a devastating tag team. Just like the comment said, they're jacked, they're juicy, and they're a couple of certified beauties. But as funny as that is, these guys are no joke, and they're not going to be joking around once they get into a PPW ring as an official tag team. We have to wonder, will they try and make a statement after the ladder match as well, or during it? You never know, because they're trying to catch the eye of PPW management, get their name upon the tongues of PPW fans, and become the top team in PPW. They're also going to stop at nothing to do that. We saw their beatdown of the Short Kings. It was absolutely merciless. And all these other tag teams better be on lookout for Para Lira.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, they are going to be looking out for those belts. What are your thoughts here, Pop Spokes? I know what we thought going into the triple threat match originally, but this time around, the Short Kings with the titles to defend against two incredible tag teams. Who has got the advantage going in this? Who do you think is walking out the champions after the dust is settled?
That's a very, very tough question. When a tag team is champions, I never want to bet against them because they've climbed the mountain already. The Short Kings have done that. They've walked the road of challenges, the road of trials. They've been through this already, and they reached the top and got the belts. I feel like the Short Kings are kind of punching down, so to speak. No pun intended by the Short Kings punching down, but they're the champions. They don't have to beat the other teams. They just have to not get pinned, or in this case, not get the belts taken from atop the ladder. So I never want to bet against the champions, but look at their competition in this too. The Clandestine Society have shown what a strong tag team they are. They work as a team. They have all kinds of tandem moves where both of them work on one opponent. That's absolutely devastating, and that's the key to tag team wrestling. But now you've got the Brotherhood involved in this too. They've also shown they don't have a care in the world for the health of or sanity or anything of any of their opponents. So they're going to come in with that total forward momentum mindset that's been imbued in them by Bucky McGraw. He's the one that's pulling the strings, getting these two big monsters, Jacob Creed and the Dixie Dragon, to do his bidding. But they're also a well-oiled machine. And I was a little surprised that they didn't win the tag team belts in that first triple threat match we had, because they were looking real good in that. You got to think that they've tidied up their game a little bit, watched a little bit more tape, and have an even better game plan to come out of this next show with the titles.
Well, and you know, the Crazy Cowboy Jacob Creed said when he got on that microphone, he said that last time out, it took all four of the opponents, all four of them, to take him out of the equation and have him get pinned in that matchup. And now he's stating that this time around, this is their wheelhouse, that this is their advantage. They've got the height, they've got the size, they've got the brutality. Again, they've got Bucky McGraw, the X Factor there. We don't know. Is TFA going to be traveling with the Clandestine Society, making it down this Saturday? Might she be able to keep Bucky at bay kind of thing? What will happen there? There's, again, two more factors right there, and everything is stacked against our champions in so many ways. The Short Kings, and I hate to use the term, have a very tall order against them here in this tag team matchup. And I believe, if I was going to go ahead, I know last time out I said the Short Kings had all the momentum going into it. I think this time out, the Short Kings, the momentum is not there anymore. They will fight like hell to keep those belts. I don't doubt that for a second. They are fighting champions, and they are great guys. And again, Short Kings for life. Again, I believe in them, Papa Smokes, but damn, if I was the cynical part of me believes that with this mean streak that they're on right now, that the Brotherhood are going to find a way by hook or by crook to walk away with gold this coming Saturday night.
You may have a good point there, Munson. There's lots of different ways you could look at it. These three teams are the cream of the crop of Canadian tag team wrestling, and we get them all in our city, all in our PPW ring at the same time, and perhaps all climbing different ladders towards those belts, towards the climax of this match. It's going to be wild, Munson, and I really don't know how to predict it. I want to say that Short Kings have the advantage, but the way you put it also is that they're going to be kicking and scratching to retain those belts, and man, it's going to be an entertaining match. I can't even imagine what it's going to be at the end when the dust settles. We're going to have somebody with those belts, whether it's the retaining champions or new tag team champions. And in the background, always lurking, is Paralira. And all these teams better be worried about them and better be preparing for them, because they look like a killing machine that's coming for the PPW tag team scene. And they aren't going to stop for nothing until they get those belts. So watch out.
You never know what could happen this coming Saturday. The only way to find out immediately, anyways, is to be there live in person. Make sure that you got your tickets. Again, seating, the $30 seats are all sold out. $15 general admission standing room tickets still available. Message PPW on Facebook. And again, if there are still tickets available at the door, guess what? You'll be able to see me at the door, as I'll be letting you all in that very evening. I'm always there guiding people into the arena for the night for that DPW action. It's going to be absolute fun for all. Bastard saying, love the Short Kings, but it's going to be hard to stop Stephen Crow's momentum as well as MRB's skill. And very strong point here by Basser as well, too. I mean, let's not cut out the Clandestine Society. These guys have picked up gold just about everywhere they've went. Blaze with that, that absolute skill that he's got, that veteran skill that he brings to the table. And Crow, like we said, the kudos to him with all these bookings lately. He's got momentum. He's got world-traveled momentum in his corner. And again, the PPW Nation, they might have been very torn in that match we just called between the Short Kings and the Clandestine Society. I know exactly what Blaze and Crow are willing to do when it comes to a ladder match. We have seen what Blaze is willing to do, and I've seen footage of just how much Crow's willing to follow right in those footsteps and throw everything on the line inside of a ladder match. I can guarantee you one thing, Papa Smokes, there's going to be some hurt bodies after Saturday night, but either way, let's get down to business. PPW Triple Combat. I can't wait, Papa Smokes. Best part about it is spending time with you guys, the PPW Nation, live in action. Yeah, I mean, again, if you have any questions for myself and Papa Smokes regarding PPW, independent wrestling, or anything like that, feel free to ask them in the chat right now as we're kind of coming to an end. But I do have a nice little surprise for everybody. Somebody else I do know is booked this Saturday, because maybe I did a little video tweaking for somebody that's coming in this Saturday. Yes, as always, one of the absolute favorite pairs in Prairie Pro Wrestling, a legend inside the ring, followed by the greatest manager in Prairie Pro Wrestling history. It is Cannonball Kelly and Johnny Two Fingers. And not only do they have an updated video to be played, they've got a brand new song, and it's an original performed
What?
by Johnny Two Fingers and the Deformities, and it is called Cannonball Kelly. They wrote a song about Cannonball Kelly and his life. It is the tale of Cannonball Kelly, Papa Smokes. The song is absolutely amazing. I didn't ask if I can have permission to play it, so I won't be playing it on screen tonight because I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to go against Johnny and his crew and stuff without permission to do it. So if you want to hear it, first of all, come check it out this Saturday. I will talk to Johnny this Saturday, and we'll see about playing that video next Thursday night for you guys if I have proper permission from Johnny Two Fingers and the Deformities. But if you want to check it out ahead of that, come out this Saturday night. I know Bass is coming. I know I saw Bass reach out to get those tickets right away when we told him right here on the show. And tickets are moving fast, Papa Smokes. I'm looking forward to it. Anybody who's planning to attend, you got any questions, feel free to reach out or come see me at the door. As always loving to help. Again, Papa Smokes, anything else that you're looking forward to this Saturday for PPW Triple Combat?
Well, two things I wanted to mention. First of all, I love the idea of Cannonball Kelly and Johnny Two Fingers having a new song, but I'm going to miss the old song too. Wasn't that a banger?
Yep.
So heavy and so wild, and it built up, and then he would come running, dive into the ring, and do a couple of flips and stuff. Such a cool entrance, but I'm excited for the new one too. One other thing I wanted to say, we were talking about the toughness of some of the wrestlers involved in the tag team ladder match. I just wanted to go down memory lane with you a little bit, Munson. This is going back more than 5 years, maybe more than 7 years, but do you remember a certain match at Halloween time in Saskatoon at the same venue that we're at now, but with the previous company, and it was called Devil's Night Match. Do you remember this? It was Mike McSugar and Michael Allen Richard Clark against Michael Richard Blaze and Brandon Van Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
You remember this match? Devil's Night or Devil's Rules or something.
Yeah.
That's one of the better matches we've seen in this city during my time watching anyway. That was fantastic and violent, and they pulled out all the stops.
The event, Devil's Night. The match was the fans bring the weapons matchup between these two teams, and it was chaotic, Papa Smokes. It was such a crazy matchup, especially with the filming that very night too, chasing these four individuals around the arena, carnage everywhere, everything that you could think of that the fans brought. There was even a VHS cassette tape case for the movie Aladdin that was used in this matchup. Like, that was the kind of pandemonium and the kind of things that people in Saskatoon brought that night. And again, it was a great matchup. We saw, the rise of Flex Appeal winning the tag belts off of the Western Lions there that evening. A great trip down memory lane. I remember it well, Papa Smokes. And, I remember, being given some advice as well, too, about running the commentary for that particular show. And it paid off big times. It was really great to get some of that insider advice on the commentary side of things to really help us along, which we've done bit by bit, learning from great people along the way, industry greats that have, taken the time to say, like, hey, try this, and we've always appreciated that feedback on our work and being able to do our best to provide only the best we can for commentary for Prairie Pro Wrestling.
For sure. And always valuable, any of that feedback. Rich Bocchini was one of the guys I learned the most from. Boy, he knows everything about commentary. But one more thing about that Devil's Night match is I wasn't the cameraman yet at that point. You must have been filming that one by yourself.
I was.
Or were you?
I was by myself.
And I remember I was taking some videos in the crowd to post on my Twitter account. And I went up to get a beer at the concessions, which was only 15 feet away from where I was sitting or something. I still had my phone's video camera on. And I'm getting a beer, and here's Michael Allen, Richard Clark, and Brandon Van Danielson brawling right beside me, like right in front of me, like right beside me. And I was just like, oh, Jesus. And Van Danielson's just going, yeah, we're right here. You might want to get on the way. And I was like, already am, man. Holy cow. That was awesome. That's
Yeah.
still on buried in my Twitter feed from, it has to be 6 or 7 years ago now, at least.
Oh, that's absolutely phenomenal, Pops folks. Yeah, again, that's the thing. And it's like you could almost guarantee it. I can see some of this spilling into the audience come Saturday night. That is the thing
Oh,
you got to watch out
oh
for.
God. Yeah.
I mean, as camera operators, again, we're gonna have to, me, you, and Warren are gonna have a sit down earlier on in the night before we start things off, so that we can just have a little conversation about what to watch for. We're gonna actually have to figure this out properly because we've never been put in a situation of a triple threat ladder match, let alone involving 3 tag teams. So it's going to be absolute insanity, but I want the fans to go out, have a great time. As always, you know, the typical things: be loud, be obnoxious, be booing who you want to boo, cheer who you want to cheer, be noisy. That's the best thing about a PPW Nation crowd, Pop and Smoke. They are rowdy from start to finish. They do not leave early. They do not slow down at any point in time. Every single match, every single wrestler, they are drinking, they're partying, they're having fun. There's kids there, they're having fun. The kids are just as into it as the adults here are too. The kids are getting in there, they're yelling at the wrestlers and getting their little signs in there. Man, I know that we push the boundaries sometimes. We've got some violence, we got some swear words that might drop here and there kind of thing. But I think the parents at this point understand that it's like, if you're going to a pro wrestling show, hey, these are guys that are going to get pissed off at each other. They might drop an F-bomb or two along the way, and shit happens is what it comes down to. But the kids enjoy it. They have a great time, and so do the adults. Everybody. I've heard so many stories about people who don't watch wrestling, have never gone to a wrestling show in their life and stuff, and their friends bring them to PPW for the very first time. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, I don't watch wrestling, but I want to go to Prairie Pro Wrestling every single time because it's an exciting experience. And that's what they love. And again, the price is right. $15 for general admission, standing room tickets. And a lot of those people convert to ones that are asking for seats afterwards. They spend their first time in the standing area. Next time around, they're the first in line to get a seat. Good on them if that's what you want. On the other hand, Basser used to get seats. He likes to be in the standing portion there with him and Bass Jr. And again, always managing to find themselves on film, especially in those big tag matches a couple of weeks past. Look out, good video of you and Bass Jr. there coming up on that Short Kings Clandestine Society match. But yeah, the excitement is red hot, Pop Smoke. It is supposed to be a beautiful plus 21 in Saskatoon this coming Saturday. It's going to be hot, hot, hot in that arena that night. We're just going to turn that heat up with the great wrestling action. Can't wait for it. It's going to be shoulder to shoulder. It will sell out, so don't hesitate to get your tickets. I can't sit. I get too excited. Yes. And you know what? And look, the best part is Bass Jr., little Bass, every time I see him, it's like he is just taking right after you, man. You're teaching him well. He's getting right into it. I saw the pictures last time. He wanted a Cannonball Kelly and Johnny Two Fingers shirt, so he was rocking that thing after the last show. He's got his Short Kings merch. And that's the thing. Support the wrestlers. Buy the merchandise. Bass buys the merchandise. And I might steal a shirt from Assassino every once in a while, but everybody else purchase their merchandise. Kind of thing. Assassino made enough off those shirts from all you cynical bastards. It's all good. But yeah, excitement is high, Papa folks. I can't say enough about it. Any last words about PPW before we get to the end of the show here?
No, but you kind of touched on it a little bit in your speech there, is that if you're a wrestling fan, you can watch wrestling on TV. You can watch shows that are taped in cities that you're not in because you can't be at it. You can watch the big stars on TV, and that's pretty good. That's what most of us do all the time. But if you've got a local indie company in your city, go and see it, because it's very different than watching it on TV. Very much so different. It's a whole different experience. It's so much more vibrant. There's the sights, the sounds, the smells, the tastes, the everything of being at the live show. It's a whole experience. You will get up close to the action, closer than is comfortable sometimes, but you're going to love it because these guys put on an awesome show. It'll be all around you. It'll be right in front of you. And your words, your cheers, your jeers, it can be heard by the wrestlers and the other fans, which makes it such a fun experience. It's interactive, trust me. So be careful who you jeer and who you heckle, but it's so excellent to be right up close to the action, to a live show in a venue that's not gigantic. You're not going to be sitting in the upper deck or way in the back of the seats anywhere. You're going to be right there. It's an experience like no other. And I wouldn't have it any other way than PPW Wrestling Saskatoon.
You bet. It's going to be a blast. I like this one for STG, so I'm going to round this up with his questions here. How long does it take to prepare for a PPW show, from seating, ring setup, concessions, etc., and then video production too? This is kind of a multi-part take here, STG. Very good question. Let's go. Okay, so let's start this from, I can kind of give you the lowdown. So usually right after we run a show is when we'll announce tickets going on sale for the next show. We've tried to do it right afterwards. We start with seating tickets only. So usually we give it about a week or two for the seating tickets. They've been selling out about within a couple of days, like of announcing them now. So we usually run about 100 to 120 seats sold per show. And then from there, we start selling general admission, standing room tickets. And then our full capacity is around the 300 person mark for a sellout show. And we've been selling out time and time again. Now, preparation on that side of things, once we know who needs the tickets, I have to generate a QR code for each person that I put onto a special ticket that's labeled for Prairie Pro Wrestling. That then, when I go to scan it at the door, feeds back to a form that I've created that tells me the name of the person, the amount of tickets they bought, and then I have a seating chart so I can show them to the show. We allow the people with the purchase seats to come in first, and then everybody comes in afterwards to fill the rest of the arena up. That part, again, it's here and there. It takes a little bit of time to generate all the QR codes, send the emails out, stuff like that. I do spend a few evenings probably making sure that everybody's stuff is out there, answering questions through emails and various social media as well too. As for the show day itself, now I believe again, because I don't get there right first thing in the morning, I do believe the crew show up as early as 8 in the morning, I want to say, to start setup. And we're talking everybody that's in training, along with the trainers and everybody like that, get in, they get their hands dirty, they go out, and they get the ring assembled, and they get the rampway and our kind of our stage setup all assembled. So by the time that I arrive around 12 noon, that portion's already done, and they're already kind of going over some of the match stuff in the ring. From there, I start to do the chair setup so that I can label all the chairs with the names on them. Doing the seats at about 120 seats, I said I spend maybe an hour, especially with people coming up with questions and stuff like that during that time. So about an hour doing seat setup. From there, again, that's when our lighting and our audio people come in shortly after that, and they do their setup and stuff. Again, all this happens from 8 in the morning or until right before showtime. We open those doors at 6:45 p.m. So it's a full day of work just to get prepared for that show. And that's not including, then we run the show till about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And then all those wonderful people, not me included, because I don't know, I'm just a prick like that. Everybody, all the rookies get together, and a lot of the wrestlers spend their time as well too. They tear down the ring, they get everything torn down. Often they're there till midnight, till even 2 in the morning at times, making sure the place is cleaned up and everything like that. So there's that side of it. Concession, really, we bring the stuff in. Somebody comes during the day that picks it all up. It's usually one of the wonderful, great volunteers that picks up all the drinks and everything like that. We unload the vehicle. We get it all set up in the concession at some point during the day in that time frame as well too. As for video production, man, I can't tell you. I've gotten faster at it over the years, especially now. I can whip through an entire show, every single match, depending on how many matches, approximately in 2 to 3 days. And I'm talking 2 to 3 good solid days, because with rendering and things like that, there is a lot of time with the processing side of it. So it does take a little bit. And then if the guys need any edits or updates to their videos and entrance videos and stuff like that, then I'm there for that as well too. So there is a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes that not a lot of people are aware of and stuff like that. And it's kind of hard to put an actual timestamp on the amount of time that people are volunteering to put into this production.
And don't forget, Munson, I know you won't forget it, because this is some of the work you have to do. As soon as the show is over, you're getting messages from wrestlers saying, hey man, can I get my match? Can I get my package immediately? Can I get that tonight or can I get that tomorrow? And Munson's just thinking, oh my God, I just want to sleep.
they're they're usually pretty good about giving me some time, and they've gotten in the habit of asking me, knowing that I usually get right on top of the edits now because I know we're coming to a time where we're going to catch up to things. So knowing that, I've been getting in the habit of making sure I edit right away, and then they can have a properly edited version of the match instead of just one of the cameras doing that. STG has one more great question here. We'll give this to him. Last question. Do you have ambitions to put PPW in a larger arena than 300 seats? Look, we've said it a lot of times. We would love to if we could. The problem is that Saskatoon notoriously doesn't have arenas big enough, or if they do, they're too big and they're hard to fill. The costs go up, all that kind of stuff. It starts to feel hollow, or else they can't fit our ring, or they want to take over the bar, which there's no way in hell PPW's giving up the bar. That would be a cold day in hell before we did that, because then we'd have to triple the ticket costs in order to compensate everything. It's not feasible, but I can say we're looking into a potential for the big show in October. We are going to try to look for something for October for a one-off so that we can get more people and possibly do something there. So again, stay tuned. If that happens, we will be announcing it right here on this program. So where you get all of your information when it comes to Prairie Pro Wrestling. I appreciate the great questions, STG. And we are just over the hour mark. So Papa Smokes, let's cost this show a whole lot more money by putting that beautiful fancy ticker down there so you can tell the good people where they can reach out to Papa Smokes outside of here.
Just quickly before that, Munson, we don't make the bar. We are the bar. You remember that one?
Yeah, I sure do. That was it. One of these. Yeah, there we go. We are the bar. Love it.
Yeah.
Where can the people find you, Papa Smokes? Where can they reach out if they want some more knowledge from Big Papa?
All right, everybody. I'm always on this show on Thursday nights. We haven't missed one in goddamn years. So if you need to get a hold of me for any reason outside of that, I am on Elon Musk's free speech wonderland, known as X, at smokes_papa. Also on Twitch at papa_smokes_.
That's where you can find Big Papa Smoko, that beautiful Papa Smoko name, which got a shout out just recently on our SPW review, Papa Smokes. You did definitely got a fan there for sure on the Papa Smoko name. But yes, as for my own credentials, that ticker down below is where you're going to be able to find me over on the X. I'm Real Bobby Munson, Instagram and Threads at Video Bros SK. Over on Twitch, it's Video Bro _Bobby Munson, and at Blue Sky, Bobby Munson. What have I got coming up? As always, like we said, PPW every Saturday afternoon with myself and Papa Smokes. This Saturday, we've got a real fan favorite matchup coming up. It is Phil Deadly taking on T.Y. Jackson, Papa Smokes. That one is a classic. Great competition from those two. Look forward to it coming out this Saturday afternoon. And of course, Saturday afternoon, once you're done watching that, make sure to get over to PPW to come watch us in a live capacity. As for right here on the channel, though, you can catch me again on Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern time with both Mark and I believe Andre this weekend. We are going to be giving you Point of View, our weekly sports roundup, back after last week's very heavy WrestleMania weekend. We are going to be back on to the regular sports here this weekend, talking about the NFL draft. So make sure to tune into that coming up this Sunday. And also tomorrow night, this is back on the docket. It's myself and Astro Pizarro bringing you an episode of Killer Cuts, our horror movie review show. And this time around, we're going to be talking about the movie Companion, a little-known sleeper that came out earlier this year that we're going to be giving you an in-depth conversation about. As Bash saying, the heart of PPW is the Cosmo Senior Center, as well as you two. See you Saturday, brothers. Yeah, you likewise, Bash. Can't wait to see you, man. You and Bash Jr. come rock it out with us at PPW this Saturday. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun, but that's going to be that. And then, of course, everything can be found at OLE Podcast. Got a lot of great stuff going on here on the channel. Reach out to us on all social media. Make sure you're following us on both Twitch and YouTube. Give us a sub here on YouTube as well as a thumbs up. And if you're watching afterwards, make sure to leave a comment in the comment section. I'm always checking those out. Always getting back to you wonderful people who tune in and watch the shows. But that's it for us this week on Ring Respect Radio. Come in next week because Papa Smokes and I will have all the inside information on what went down this Saturday at Triple Combat. Until then, take care, everybody.